Well, hello there, and welcome back as we get underway with our next game of the day. Of course, k1llsen takes on k1llsen in About to Remember 40.
So I know we said Tox Cypher was like the battle of the legends, and that's absolutely true. But this is the battle of the champs right now. k1llsen, of course, taking the belt. k1llsen taking it twice. This one is going to be even better, I think, than the Tox Cypher match. I can't wait to get into it. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We're spoiled. It feels like every Sunday we're spoiled.
Oh, we truly are. You got the two-time himself in k1llsen. You've got k1llsen, a true king, a living legend. It's going to be damn good. If we see k1llsen emerging on the server, they're literally just strap in. Please go and buy a seatbelt for your chair right now, or you will quite literally be blown out of it. Make sure that those socks are fully strapped on as well, because this game is destined to blow your socks off.
Absolutely. And you got to give it to k1llsen, man. He knows when to be aggressive and not to be aggressive. And that's going to be huge as we see that highlight reel from the king himself. Kind of able to choke you out of the map and stifle you and take all the items from you. But like you said, if k1llsen is popping off and he's hitting everything, maybe he doesn't even need items. Maybe you need those items and he's generous enough to gift them to you and still take the frag off of you. He's the two-time for a reason. He's an absolute monster. And if we see that version of k1llsen where it's just rail on rail on rail on rail, it's going to be bloody.
Man, it will be a matchup to remember. I'd say going into this form-wise, I actually have a little bit of an edge towards k1llsen. I think k1llsen's been looking better in recent history, and I'm kind of worried. I feel like there is definitely a potential scenario here where k1llsen could just come out of the gate ready for action, and k1llsen could potentially be put onto the back foot.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are no strangers to one another, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm very excited to get into it. But like I said, my initial reaction was k1llsen. You said yours was k1llsen, but people in the chat, what do you think? What are the reactions? What are the predictions in chat? Throw them up there, and we'll see if you're right. There's no money on it. I mean, I can't afford to give you anything. I could barely afford cheesecake, but I mean, it's just nice to see, I guess.
You got a couple of slices left. You might be able to give out
some crumbs I could give you guys. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, they are in the beard, so you would have to come round. But we'll figure out the logistics. We'll pay for like travel or something. But let's have a look at the veto, of course. Blood Covenant to kick us off. Then it seems that is going to be k1llsen's map pick, as we do have Nyx for k1llsen. Literally the yin and yang combo, right? They go hand in hand. Name a more iconic duo than k1llsen on Nyx. k1llsen, on the other side of things, has been able to steal himself an Anarchy.
I like that pick a lot. Traversing the map very, very quickly. Again, k1llsen on that Nyx, that ruby red Nyx, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be spicy, being able to wall jump and get around the top part of the map. Then we got Corrupted Keep, again, personal favorite. BJ versus Galena, that's going to be up close and personal, real bloody. And then speaking of blood, we're going to end up Blood Run, Strog, and Eisen. It's going to be a blood bath. Jackie, I'm very excited.
Thing is about bloodbaths is they're not very clean. Like, you'd need to have another bath afterwards.
That's true. Somehow they have healing properties, I guess. I don't really know the science behind it. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Is that where you've been going wrong? I wondered why you had a bit of a smell.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that now.
Yeah, like a weird hue. Like now everyone's like, have you been swimming in beets? And I'm like, yeah, beets. Right. I don't know. It's a whole thing, but this series is going to be a whole thing too. As again, we get 3 maps between these champions, and it all starts on Blood Covenant. You said k1llsen, I said k1llsen. Do you know what specific map k1llsen might get if it's going to be 2-1? Do you put him in any advantage in any one of these maps?
Right. What would be the potential? I guess I'd say Corrupted Keep. I assume it would probably be Keep, right? Because that's the one where you take away the rail from k1llsen, you restrict him in terms of the weaponry that he can use, put him at least into a position where maybe he'll have to try and find another avenue of attack. But he's still pretty good on Keep.
That's true.
It's hard, man. It's hard to call. This whole series is quite tight. 2 real, just absolute gods of the game. So hopefully we just go along for the ride. You know what I mean?
I'm excited as we're into it right now. k1llsen grabbing that upper 50, making his way over to the Mega. Stacks are out. Are the rockets going to be out? Here, k1llsen lying in wait. Does have the ghost walk if he wants to play aggressive. Just pre-aiming this rocket. Just waiting for him to skedaddle on over, kickflip his way towards his demise here as the trap is set on rockets. Cooler would love some rockets, but he has to know something's up. A little bit preemptive on that for k1llsen. He wanted a little bit more, you could tell, but still, the traps are there, setting the pace early, making sure that Cooler knows that things won't be as free as he hopes.
Nearly a minute in. There hasn't been a single encounter between the two of them just yet. They run head to head like two deers fighting for dominance. They get themselves up close and personal, butting their horns against one another, and eventually scarpering, leaving it hanging in the balance. 40. An interesting encounter to kick us off.
Finally getting rockets a minute in is Cooler. k1llsen doing a really good job of denying it early. Missing with that rail. He's going to want that one back. But I like that play from k1llsen. The weapon denial is a thing. Could have kept it going maybe even a little bit longer. Steals that mega. The rails exchange from players won't land. But k1llsen not afraid to slow it down. He's going to wait for his Ghost Walk to come back just in case. That's Cooler hovering above now. The warning rocket shot by k1llsen. I love it, man. They're not afraid to play super slow. There's the rocket. There's the rail. Cooler will hit his shots, sending k1llsen packing, but he's afraid of the mega. Cooler looking for some rails here. Eats two of his own. Needs to be really careful. Both items up, and k1llsen's going to make his way back to the mega as Cooler will claim the heavy, or at least position above it as he delays it, it looks like. Making sure k1llsen's nowhere to be seen before he drops.
Cooler. Low on stack. Playing it slow. Playing it smart. k1llsen darting his way back across. Repositioning right now as he tries to get into a bit of a better angle to play from. Listening out for the audio cues. He does have the Ghost Walk in reserve. Ready whenever he needs it. If he wants to evaporate and disappear.
Ooh, that rocket. So chunky. Right in the cheeks. And there's the cutoff. And another one even after the inject. Cooler reeling right now. And there's the play. Oh, k1llsen read it beautifully, but just missed out on the angle with the rail. That was very, very close.
k1llsen, once again, making his move. Still not a single player has gone down. Neither Cooler or k1llsen has been slain. And they're just waiting, playing this very slow. Ghost Walk for aggression, though. This is different. Peekaboo from behind as he appears. Cooler, no idea what has just occurred. Finally realizes what's going down as k1llsen. He wins that encounter, snatches the mega as his prize, and starts to dart back around, chasing him down. And I think Cooler's been able to avoid him. Oof. Although, they're both just peeking into one another. 40. They're out for blood.
Not afraid, but k1llsen should be as he's out of rail. Swaps to rockets. Didn't hear the click of death yet. He's going to have Ghost Walk up. Inject is up for Cooler. And yeah. No frag on the board, but the damage is there from both players. Look at this play, man. I love it. Very sneaky beaky like. k1llsen moving his way back to the mega. Rail from Cooler won't land. Taking the stairwell up to the bridge, trying to get high ground here. Zooming by, k1llsen sees it, rail out. Tribolt will land barely, tries to get a wall jump for an extra attempt at a rail, but instead will fall down, and now he has to concede the mega. Mega taken. Can he get back to deal damage as k1llsen knows that the heavy is open? There's the peppering with the machine gun, and he's out of there.
Retreating once again. 15 seconds till Mega spawns in. Ooh. The peak and contact being found from k1llsen onto Cooler. He's missing the fadeaway shots though, as he's just trying to create space between the both of them. Mega's up in 1 second. I believe Cooler's made his move over towards the heavy as well. So they're going to split the major items. They both pick them up at essentially the same time to keep those rotations close together. k1llsen just wasting time once again.
Warning.
Well, 5 minutes and 30 in. It has been quite a calm state of affairs. Very chill game so far. Surprising, really, 40.
Yeah, not really the high-flying action that we've seen previous, but again, wow. Ghostwalk just in the nick of time, but he wants that chase. There's the rocket. Doesn't really land. But again, these are battle of two champions here. They know what it takes, and they're not afraid to play this game of chess here. That rocket, 60 damage, that's good. Almost into the rail here. 6 minutes in, still no frag, and this could be one of those games, this epic battle that goes down to maybe one frag in overtime. There's the rocket. Is it on point? It is. Almost the rail during the heavy pickup. 25 HP. k1llsen's going to back up to a 25, but he's still extremely railable. Needs to be careful as k1llsen just comes skating around the corner. Oh, and he smells blood, and what a vertical rail from k1llsen there. Takes him down in the pillar room, and that's the first frag of the match at 6:20 in.
Well, finally, we've had a kill coming out. And this is where things have got to change, and k1llsen needs to try and re-aggress and put the pressure on k1llsen. You can't afford to play the slow style that they have had out. As k1llsen makes his move back across, attempting to get closer towards the Mega. It's going to be up at about 10 seconds for now, though. Just skulking around. Goes in with a Ghost Warp play again for another aggressive one. Bypasses k1llsen with it as they basically trade locations. The LG is out, but he's not getting the shots off. Instead, it's the rapid transitions of the rocket that does damage. That equalizes them, puts them back into one frag apiece, and they'll trade the major items, and the game is again put back into square one.
Oof, and that rail stops k1llsen right in his tracks as he wants. Wow, and from that angle, k1llsen didn't even expect k1llsen there. The rail's raining down upon k1llsen as he's stuck in the low ground now. Somehow dodges that rail. Needs to be very careful. But k1llsen doing a great job. We're just seeing glimpses of k1llsen here. That's something k1llsen does not want to see. 7:30 in, tied at 1. There's the drop down with the LG. The perfect trap is set. And k1llsen will take his second frag and the heavy.
The German himself overcoming now from how long it took to get that opening frag. So the fact we're now in a 2-1 lead for k1llsen. Where do we go from here? Gets the rail off, the backstab onto k1llsen as he was pushing his way up the stairwell. Fires out the shot on the rocket as well, hoping to actually connect it, but it won't land. So k1llsen's been given breathing room to actually back off and get away here. Both of the major items are coming up at the same time as well, so heavy's spawned in, mega's available, and k1llsen just double backs. Actually knew that he was given that breathing room so he could go towards the heavy. k1llsen pushes up aggressive here so he can back in to get the pocket heal when needed.
And I don't know if k1llsen faked himself out with that pickup, but he's going to leave it up for a little bit longer. That's going to add to the delay. Splits about 19 seconds now as he still has the one frag lead. 1:20 left, and all the pressure's on k1llsen. k1llsen doing a good job of maintaining high ground, keeping that Ghost Walk in his pocket in case things go terribly wrong. And there's a great rail, and again, all he needs to do is kind of chip away and keep away. And k1llsen can't really get back into this. There's another great rail, and this is going to leave k1llsen reeling. There's the inject, and here comes the push from k1llsen. He wants to put the final nail in right now. LG on LG. Is it going to land? It's not. k1llsen's going to get the LG, and k1llsen probably jaw-dropped as it's tied at 2, and that, by all accounts, should have been his frag.
And the difference is we're now left in this scenario where both of them are tied 2 apiece in the last 60 seconds of the game. And the issue is whoever gets the frag here could basically guarantee themselves victory. k1llsen comes out on top with a shotgun as k1llsen unfortunately is blown to smithereens. And there's only 30 seconds that remain. k1llsen needs to hunt. We're not actually seeing him getting overly aggressive just yet. Instead, he's playing for the major items, keeping his cards close to his chest. The risk that you run here, though, if you don't find this frag in the next few seconds, that is it, 40. You will lose this map.
And Ghostwalk is up, so k1llsen should have this. He goes through the tally. He should pop the Ghostwalk. There it is. He needs to read this perfectly, and k1llsen does not do it. And that's going to be it. k1llsen steals that one away off a refrag. Wow.
Man. The Ruby Red Nyx showing just how deadly she can be. Spilling blood there. Winning out by the blood pool with a shotgun. Oh, dude. What a crazy matchup, considering the frags that were stolen away by k1llsen, and then how it was just decided purely by that one interaction as well, with the final 30 seconds left of the game. Quite an odd one.
Just one weapon switch. The initial rockets from Cooler were good. They were chunky, but he just needed to switch to anything to try and finish that out. k1llsen quicker on the trigger, switches, gets the frag. A little disheartening, I'm sure, for Cooler, but still a very, very close game between two Titans.
Yeah, no, it was close. Obviously showed a lot of reserve, a lot of composure between the both of them, not really overstepping the mark or playing unnecessarily aggressive. Both of them just playing smart Quake for the most part. So it was interesting to get basically a different style of Quake coming out here compared to the matchup we had earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a little more up-tempo on Corrupted Keep, smaller map, no rails. I think we're going to see, obviously, a lot more rockets. HMG is going to be the key to this, too. But I think Cooler in his head is like, it's just that weapon switch, man. It might haunt him a little bit. And I think he knows what to do to adjust because, again, this is two absolute titans going at it, and Cooler wants to win this one. He still has the chance. One map down, not a big deal. He's been in this position before where he's had to come from behind. It's not a showstopper by any means.
No, not at all. And the beneficial factor is as well, this is now Corrupted Keep territory, which is a good map for both of these players. But the one thing you're restricting here and really putting into a sleeper hold is the fact that there is no railgun available for k1llsen himself, a weapon that does so much for him. If he's having a bad day, one of the things you can always rely on is that rail to put himself into the upper echelons of the game. So removing that entirely could give Cooler a bit of a benefit here.
Absolutely. Game of Rockets, HMG, and LG. We'll see who comes out on top. Map number 2 in the series. Very excited. I think Cooler might be able to take this. We'll see if he turns Corrupted Keep into Cooler's Kingdom. k1llsen's not going to want to take that, though. So we'll see. We'll see.
No, not at all. Not at all. It should be quite a good matchup between the both of them. Obviously, after this, it will be Blood Run for the third and final map. If it does need to be a decider, we'll find out after this one, because obviously it's currently a 1-0 lead. We are ready to kick it off then as we get inside of Corrupted Keep. Cooler will take the heavy, and k1llsen will get the mega.
Cooler playing very slowly, doesn't want to get caught out with that LG, wants to try and bang with that shotgun, and there it is. There's another blast as well. And that is going to hurt, doing big damage there, chunking into good HMG switch. I like that. Now he can freely get LG into rockets, and that LG is, oh my god, electrifying, dropping him into the lava, hard. And that's a good first frag from Cooler there. Oh, and he wants more. He doesn't even need rockets right now. There's the switch to HMG as k1llsen peeks out again, trying to get some damage back. It's not going to benefit him here, and now he's going to wait on the 50 armor, and this should be another frag. There's the shotgun swap, and Cooler nets his second.
Already building himself quite a luscious lead to work with. He's going to get that third totem out in a second as well. He'll drop it, but just as the second's killed. It's a shame. And it won't really matter. I'm not going to dishearten him. This is already living the high life as it is. He's basically completely been blowing k1llsen out of the water here in this altercation. Right now, though, k1llsen repositioning, coming in with a Hawaiian shirt, looking to try and send Cooler on vacation.
Ooh, went from high life into, well, Cooler showing that once in a blue moon he can get a frag back. 1-2. Cooler trying to fight his way back into this. A little over aggressive, making sure that k1llsen doesn't dare push out of the banana here onto the heavy. Items traded, totem in the pocket of Cooler. See totems that telly exit onto the LG. Doing a good job of controlling the time shards, but at what cost? Now he's stuck in the boneyard. LG on LG. k1llsen with superior positioning absolutely melts him down, ties it at 2.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh no, that's not good whatsoever. Blown to smithereens there, completely annihilated. k1llsen now has the lead over Cooler. Ooh. Still getting more shots off as well. LG raining up as Buckshot rains down against him. Cooler from the high ground, firing off consistent shots. It's the only thing he really has to try and work with. He needs to grab another weapon. Makes his move across to pick up the rockets. Now he's got them. Let's see if he can frag with them, as it's so close between the both of them. The issue is, though, Cooler was stuck with the rockets, whereas k1llsen had options.
You have to diversify your bonds as Cooler making his way out of the banana needs to be careful. There's the drop down, the totem for a little bit of insurance, but no insurance can cover that as k1llsen melts him yet again.
Oh man. Up on top of the higher ground as well. Just trying to unload the LG. Look at the confidence on him. It doesn't matter that he's so low on stack. He still just swings into action. k1llsen knew that his hand was forced. He had to go in and try and take him down because the scoreline that's being built is already so large. k1llsen playing his heart out currently here on Keep.
He's doing such a good job of utilizing that dual wield off the spawn and just adding that extra pressure. It's already bad enough to get caught out from a fresh spawn, but dual LGs, dual rockets right in your face. Is he going to go to the moon? There's the rockets. Can't land from k1llsen. He's going to try again with the boomstick, and k1llsen will land the rockets he needs to kind of re-enter orbit safely here. 7-2. And this one's blown out right now, Jackie. This is how does k1llsen stop the bleeding here?
I don't know. You know, maybe like a full Rambo style. You use some of the shotgun bullets, you put them in, use a lighter. That could be one potential scenario, but right now it feels like he just can't. He needs to cauterize these wounds because he's just losing all signs of life. We're at 4 minutes in, and k1llsen has built himself a ginormous lead. It's 7-2, and he's still looking to try and get more bang for his buck here as well. Finally, some damage being done on the initiation from k1llsen as he turns around the corner. A game of hide and seek. As k1llsen's trying to avoid him, but when k1llsen finally leaps into action, the downside is that k1llsen was quicker to get towards the heavy, so he gets his health back. And he gets another frag. Both of the major items picked up, and the kill against k1llsen. That could not have gone any worse.
He was so close to getting that frag. k1llsen tried to get aggressive. He felt it, but he couldn't land that last shot. k1llsen takes another frag. And this is looking like k1llsen's keep right now. 8-2 as we get closer to the midpoint. And again, due to the nature of the map, it's well within the realm of possibilities to come back, but he's got to put the pedal to the metal, start going now. The little bit of LG off the bat as he gives up the heavy. The rocket from above will miss as k1llsen mistimes it. Could get in on this mega. k1llsen using it as a little bit of bait here. k1llsen over peaking, just getting floated with that LG.
Well, we're over the 5-minute mark. The halfway point. As the line is drawn in the sand, and it seems like right now k1llsen is the one with so much more of an advantage. Nailgun comes out, pre-firing, and expecting the push come towards him. But k1llsen's not going to make it that easy. Instead, tries to keep his distance before he strikes, coming flying through. But all of the directs, the shots that are being landed right now from k1llsen, the predictive rockets are so on point. And he finishes it with the LG. Just disgusting.
Just so unfortunate for k1llsen. Doing so much damage, but at the last second, k1llsen dives on the mega, restacks, finishes the frag as k1llsen tries to re-engage. Although k1llsen is a really great name if they ever want a 2v2 together, but I digress. 9-2 right now. As k1llsen just looks unstoppable. There's the backwards pedaling LG, keeping k1llsen at bay, and there are the rockets that he needs. He grabs the mega, throws down the totem, has the overstack as well. But can he push the advantage from the spawn? And he can't. k1llsen puts a stop to that immediately.
By the way, k1llsen would be one of those memes, you know, where it's like, don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. Where basically, if you take a picture of k1llsen and then Photoshop it to be slightly smaller and have 2 of those on screen, then just that text, that's it. That's a banger of a tweet. Someone do that.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
We are calling on the community right now.
That's free social media.
Dual wield popped. k1llsen trying to make it happen here. It's a game of chicken over the mega. What a rocket from k1llsen, making him pay the price. But k1llsen is still up by 7.
k1llsen keeping his distance between the both of them, crossing the streams ever so slightly. Let's see if this man can try and keep it looking so slimy, though, as he goes up the bounce pad, readjusts around with the rocket, taking a fair amount of damage, but keeping himself alive. 40! He's got the frag! Oh, I was talking about Slimer, but that is just disgusting. That is nutty.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. What is it going to take? The shotgun won't do it. This k1llsen again. LG's just too strong, keeps the good distance. Shotgun's not going to blast and chunk from that far away. k1llsen backing off now. Knowing when to hold him and when to fold him. 2 good rockets sends k1llsen flying now. Totem goes down for a little bit of health. 1 second till the mega, and that rocket pop is going to push him away, and this could be k1llsen's opening here, as now he restacks back up, and the machine gun should be enough. 1 HP somehow staying alive for the time being. k1llsen pops around the corner, machine gun out, gets that frag, but time is ticking, Jackie.
He lives for the funk. Oh, man. 12-4. k1llsen. If he's going to start peeling this one back, it had to have already started happening a few moments ago. His time is just burning away rapidly. High tides coming in. It's not looking good whatsoever. And k1llsen, he's just playing the smart game, right? Keep your distance. No need to overstep. No need to fight. You don't need to reveal yourself. Just stay hidden. That's all that's happening here.
Playing so slow, and look at that. Oh, it's like a horror movie just right behind you. LG out, somehow doesn't get the frag. k1llsen evades. Not only that, but steals the heavy, and he's in and out. Now Cooler has no choice. He has to push in through the doorway, which is immediate suicide. Somehow gets through as k1llsen gives up. Wow. Never mind. Direct rocket in the face as he's dropping down for the mega. Could get a spawn kill here, but he wants more LG instead. He's like, the lead is fine. I'll just want, you know, a little bit more weaponry just in case. With a minute left. Brutal. Brutal.
Oh, not again. Another instance where k1llsen's so low, but he still gets away with the frag anyhow. This is just ridiculous, man. This map is done. Put a nail in it, as this one is already in the ground. It's just ridiculous. 30 seconds remaining, and k1llsen's had 4 frags. Meanwhile, k1llsen, he nearly had 15. It's such a shame it didn't finish him, but it won't matter. Turns the corner, straight to the LG, and takes him down.
Just that tickle from the LG is just too much. 15-4. Not the scoreline I was expecting.
Well, there it is.
One more for good measure. Why not?
You win.
Oh, dude. Like...
Look at that. DJ's just like, what? What'd you expect? What?
Yeah.
I'm on vacation out here.
When he's got the Hawaiian shirt on, you expect him to just be coming in with a big chillin', but that was not the vibe he was serving up on the server here. Instead, it was Professor k1llsen. You know, he was doing some schooling, some home tutoring has just occurred in front of us, and it seems like k1llsen is going to be put into detention after that one. Not good. 16 frags for k1llsen. Just unstoppable, really.
Definitely laying down some discipline right there. I think that's k1llsen's keep. I think that's how that goes now. That was quite the display from k1llsen there. But so many fights where k1llsen was so close, just a little bit of splash damage away, a shotgun pellet or two away from getting the frag, and it's just really, really unfortunate. But k1llsen, I mean, he made everything count. Using that dual wield off the spawn to add pressure, getting those frags when he needed them. His rockets were fantastic. The traps were great. Just incredible play.
Yeah, it is just crazy, man. Well, that's the second map in the series. So I know at this point it is a 2-0 so far for k1llsen. Third and final map, the decider really is going to be Blood Run, and that's k1llsen for k1llsen versus the Strogan Pika of k1llsen. So a little bit different here.
Just a skosh, and I think, I mean, it goes without saying k1llsen's going to want to try and clean sweep this, because again, the bonus points are going to be great, but I think k1llsen's going to try and fight for at least one map. But with the Strog versus the k1llsen, can you? I mean, there's a lot of places where you can kind of put Timmy the Deathbot down to stop that crouch slide momentum, catch you off guard, put you in a trap, and then before you know it, you're getting hit from both sides. It could go either way, I feel like. I feel like Corrupted Keep kind of spiraled out of control a little bit too early. And again, it came down to a lot of fights where it was 25 HP or less for k1llsen, and then he had the passive to heal him back up some bubbles into the mega, and just like that, you can't refrag off the spawn either. So really unfortunate for k1llsen on some of those fights.
Yeah, no, there was definitely moments that could have gone better for him. I basically just got stolen away by a k1llsen that was just looking outrageous, looking like the cheater himself. Obviously, you know, just going in with the claws out, pouncing on him time and time again. So already the 2-0 has been taken. We will be getting into the third and final map then between them. Blood Run, are you seeing this be a 3-0, or do you reckon there's chance for a 2-1?
I mean, k1llsen is just, he's ready. He's heated up. I think k1llsen might clean sweep this. I think it's close. And again, we go back onto a map that has rail out, so he can just use those angles to his advantage. Yeah. He could go back into Railson mode if he needs to. I think it's going to be a little bit brutal.
Oh man, absolutely. Definitely a brutal legend here is going to be coming out, because I wouldn't expect anything else as the third or final map and a way to round this series out. I reckon, k1llsen's probably going to try and play his heart out. k1llsen's just going to come in swinging, doing what he's already been doing throughout the course of the series so far. I would probably agree, though. I do think that this is going to be the 3-0 for k1llsen now.
I mean, we'll see. Again, any given Sunday, any given map, it's not over till it's over. But just based on the momentum that k1llsen has already built up, it seems like it might go that way. But you never know until you hop in the server, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. Blood Run map number 3 in this set. k1llsen versus k1llr. We're going to start off on k1llr. He's going to start off on the LG. Timmy goes down, a little bit of machine gun funk from both players as the peeker comes out, and that's going to be some decent damage. k1llsen trying to hit these rockets, and he can't do it. And that has got to be frustrating right off the bat.
Man,
what a way to start.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Doesn't give a damn. That's certainly one way to kick things off. Let's see if he can get any more as he drops himself back down, fighting towards the mega spawn right now, doing a fair amount of damage, but not being left with a lot of stack. So he's got to back off and actually try and slow this game down a little bit. k1llsen as well, he can farm the items. He was trying to get both in one rotation. Look how low they both are. k1llr, the depth-defying drop as he turns the corner, firing out the buckshot and sends in the peeker for the execution. Heavy's up! And k1llr baited in k1llsen. He knew that he'd be trying to advance to get that major item. He takes him down with a rail. I didn't expect him to land that one straight for the teleporter, though. Lightning fast reactions.
Such a good shot. I mean, he knew he was low on stack. He didn't want to risk it, didn't want to give k1llsen a frag back, but instead he just got the rail on the way out after the heavy pickup. That's the best that he could have done. So well done to k1llr. Again, 2 frags on here is relatively huge depending on your playstyle, but given the first 2 maps, he doesn't want to give up anything. And Timmy gets a little pop-off right there. Just a little boop. Little beep-boop.
God damn. Wow. 2-0 right now. k1llr. Just, hey, man. He looks like a entirely different man walking into the matchup this time around, taking so much damage on the spawn as he came through the teleporter, though. It's unfortunate. As, of course, there's the information that's being constantly relayed to k1llsen from Tiny Timmy.
k1llsen going through the tally now, spotting out k1llr before any damage or position is taken. k1llr swapping the machine gun, and here comes the peeker again, dealt with nicely this time as k1llsen has a rail. Down goes Timmy again for a little insurance, but the rail will clean it up just fine. He's going to drop down and maybe even get more damage off of this. Wow, 1 rail through the telly sends k1llr packing, and that's exactly what k1llsen wants. I mean, we're seeing it. He's using that rail a lot, and it's only going to get worse, I think, for k1llr.
k1llsen waiting on the angle with the tri-bolt. A weapon that he's so proficient with. Definitely packs a punch, but he's not able to get anything off of it this time. Instead, it's the railgun that does the groundwork, chipping away at the health. Rocket jumps up on the ledge as well. Drops Timmy up on the elevated angle so he can back off, pick himself up the mega. Steal away a light armor as well. And knows exactly where k1llr is, but he's not willing to chase. Instead, playing it smart. k1llr potentially believing that he had baited him across, but he has not.
Ooh, k1llr with the LG pushing k1llsen somehow. k1llsen making it work, and he's going to double peek this, trying to get a little more damage on the mega, but just missing out. But 1 rail. No dice, but now he needs to be careful. He doesn't have any rails, and he just finds out. He's like, oh no. Dives immediately back down because he knows how much he's going to rely on those rails. Still a tie game at 2 between these players as we're getting close to the 4-minute mark. k1llr taking care of the death bot. A little bit of tri-bolt, and k1llsen needs to be very careful. And there's the peeker, and it'll be another frag for k1llr. Really utilizing that peeker well, and he's going to drop down. LG versus machine gun. Who's going to win? There's the switch to the nail as he runs out of LG, and somehow k1llr gets the best of him yet again. A bit fortunate there in the gauntlet. A little dangerous. Almost cut him up like a pizza there.
Well, you know what they say. Sticks and stones break bones, but the nails will kill you quicker. especially when k1llsen is living at large right now off the back of these major items, waiting for the push to come across. Oh, he Mary Poppins him, keeps him in the air, flying down. This has not gone well for k1llsen. This is a role reversal of what we saw on Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, k1llsen really flexing on this one. 6-2. Does eat a res, going to drop down, try and hit another one. Somehow, k1llsen ready for it, expecting it almost. Tiny Timmy goes down, the 50 shard, begging to be picked up and caressed by k1llsen, and it will. And here comes the peeker again for more damage. 48 HP, needs to be careful. Forces k1llsen to go into that back hole. Still needs to be careful. Tiny Timmy, wow. Oh, he's dodging lasers. Mission impossible here for k1llsen. Somehow he gets out with only one bullet in his chest.
Man, we're over the halfway mark. There's definitely still a chance, at least, for k1llsen to come into the game. But right now, k1llsen is playing it pretty perfectly. Towards the stairwell, he will peek out. He'll spot out Tiny Timmy, the troublesome turret, and be able to tackle it. As he now backs off and once again just plays for the audio cues, listening to see where exactly k1llsen is on the map. 4 rockets, 39 LG, and an appropriate stack. k1llsen's at least in a fairly effective position, and he's just wasting so much time.
Peeker getting so much mileage out of that damage. There's the jump over by k1llsen, a little bit risky, but very, very lucrative, as now his stack is a gigantic 6 minutes in, but k1llsen still maintains the 4-frag lead, and you can kind of see he's not afraid to slow it down a little bit, start feathering the brakes, and just bleed out this lead as best as he can.
k1llsen needs to change the pace, though. This is the issue we've run into before, right? In the matchup with Wenger and Base. If you allow someone to play that slow playstyle where they just hide and lurk, essentially, on a map like this, they're going to run away with it. You've got to be the one to instigate the fight and not get caught on the bounce pads and get caught flying in the air. I'm so surprised he's actually even got away with his life there.
It's just so much LG. Does give up the mega. Now k1llsen on the back foot. Here's the telly. But again, this room kind of lends itself to this defensive style of play where you can play off the sound cues. There's the rocket jump for the heavy. Now kind of k1llsen. Oh, we should hear this. Is he going to hit him with the counter strike? Oh, baby.
Man.
Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
Just poor form, really. Just poor form. They need to clear the corner, didn't they?
Gotta clear your corners, man.
Yeah. Oh, mate. This is ridiculous. This is the k1llsen show. k1llsen, he needs to get a bit more fired up. He needs to wake up into this one. There's potential that k1llsen could snatch away those extra bonus points that could have been gifted to him. Oh no. Getting away. Some damage being taken. Does go in for the peek of play, and it's stopping him dead in his tracks. The aerial onslaught coming out. Oh no.
I can't believe it. k1llsen's out here playing Space Invaders, and that's gotta be so frustrating. Oh, I almost feel like k1llsen just threw his hands in the air, like he just didn't care at a certain point. He's like, that's it. This is my fate. Jumps over, grabs the heavy, but at what cost, as he has 25 HP. Mega is up, even if he claims it. k1llsen's still up by 5. And indeed, k1llsen does. So the stack looks a little bit better, but the lead looks gorgeous on k1llsen's end. 5 ahead, less than 2 minutes remaining. Ooh, does need to be careful now. There's the nail damage and the Tiny Timmy turret. Bleeding k1llsen dry of his stack. 100, no armor. Getting dicey, but again, every single second that bleeds off that clock is in k1llsen's favor. Wow, that rail just under his feet there. And he gets in on the heavy. Doesn't even need to go for the mega. If anything, he could deal some damage, but he's just going to play the clock.
Well, he's just got to run away, right? That's literally all he has to do now to take this map and deny those extra points. Going over to k1llsen, the rocket launcher. k1llsen stomped ya. Oh, as he's just as high as a helicopter with the way he's playing this right now. The skill ceiling reaching new heights here against k1llsen. There's nothing that can be done from the German. And k1llsen's walking away as the victor, surely. He just hasn't put a foot out of line.
Oh, he's taking the fight to k1llsen. And k1llsen gets the best of him, but I think k1llsen kind of knows in the back of his mind this one's done and dusted. 40 seconds left for 5 frags. Make that more along the lines of 30. I'd wager that's a bit impossible.
Yeah, probably. Again, you would need a time turner.
I'm not going to lie. Every time you say that, I do think, what if a champion had that ability? As here comes the push. And k1llsen takes himself out. k1llsen takes out k1llsen. But not a big deal. 7-3 is going to be where we end this one. k1llsen gets himself a map in the series. And not too bad. Not the way he wanted the series to go, but ending on a strong note, getting those points, playing spoiler to k1llsen's 3-0. Not too shabby, but k1llsen does get the best of him overall.
Yeah, k1llsen takes the series, right? That's the important fact. He 2-1s him, but it was still a good comeback, at least, there for k1llsen on the final map. Whole series was definitely enjoyable, though. I definitely feel like Corrupted Keep was a spicy state of affairs that I don't think either of us expected to go down the way it did. That just barreled out of control far too quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen k1llsen do that before where he kind of gets in the lead and runs the spawns and, you know, the score is just insane. So didn't really expect it against k1llsen, but sometimes you just can't stop k1llsen. On that third map, though, we saw k1llsen play more of his game, being able to dictate the pace. The peeker plays were insane. I'm sure k1llsen didn't expect that, and that kind of net him the W. Definitely helped. And yeah, it's never bad if you can get a map. Obviously, he wanted the series victory, but does get a map at the very least.
Yeah, it's still good. It's still good for him. He'll be happy with the result no matter what. k1llsen definitely going to be walking away with his head held high here, as he's played fantastically there, really. Obviously, in terms of the standings, he was the one that went into this matchup with a much higher seed. He is currently in second place, second only to Rafa, of course, as well, which is like 130 points ahead of k1llsen. So the idea of him actually getting enough to be able to overtake it is pretty much impossible. Like, it would be very hard for him to do so. Whereas to at least keep himself firmly locked into that second position, as long as he's still winning series, it's fine.
Absolutely, yeah. We just saw that peeker play, just that denial through the doorway. That's got to be... I don't think I've ever seen that. That is brutal. Didn't even use the kamikaze, just straight up used the blaster on peeker and was just like, you're not getting through. No, thank you. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No. Yeah, just completely denied, not letting him in whatsoever. And that's the way the cookies crumbled on that one then. k1llsen, the victor overall on a 2-1 split, meaning that there is only one game that remains tonight, 40.
One game left between Rafa and Shane, the comeback of the Sausage King of Chicago. I don't know how that one's going to go. I don't know. I mean, the heart says Rafa right off the bat, but Shane has been leveling up and he's been putting up his dukes against some of the better competitors in the Quake Pro League, some of the upper echelon people in the rankings. So we'll see. You never know. Any given Sunday.
Yeah, it definitely will be a spicy state of affairs. That is what's coming up next. So keep it locked here, as it should be a really good game. The return of Rafa, of course, as he faces off versus Chain, will be coming up when we're back with more Quake Pro League action after the break.